Hello, online crew, and welcome to today's special edition of a live where I've got some amazing people joining me here with me today, and we're talking about modern tips to gain customers and recruit from social media. I think in 2023, what's a really good mantra and intention to have for all of you is just work smarter and not harder. Social media just gets busier and busier and busier and busier. A lot of people want to go online. They don't want to hassle their family and friends. We all know that. That's probably why you're learning and listening to me. So it is very important, but you've got to really follow the trends in what's working now. So what we're sharing here is what's working in our businesses. So these amazing faces here, I've got Beth Frederick, Yvette Gurrell, we've got Steve McNeil, we've got Susan Hagel, we've got Laurie Andrus, we've got Sherry Woodard, and we've got Christina Abbott. These are some of the people I work very closely with in my VIP mentorship program, and we are constantly talking about these things. We're constantly sharing what's working out there in the industry, what we're doing, what's getting results. We are in the industry building. I am in the industry building a global team. So, we like to bring to, my audience here, our online crew, what's working. So that's what we're here to do today. We're going to get straight into it. I'm going to share my tip with you. Well, firstly, say hello, everybody. And thank you very much for being here and sharing your tips with us. It's good to bring some different faces to you guys sometimes and for them to share, like everyone's having different wins in their businesses. If you are joining us live or catching the replay, please say hello in the comments so we can give you a bit of a shout out. Hello, Tony from Texas. Great to see you on. Thank you for saying hello to everybody. And we've got Faye here as well. So keep them coming, say hello so we can give you a bit of a shout out. What I want to share with you is something I was talking a lot about at the tail end of 2022 because it just kind of blew me away. I have been on the platform TikTok for a little while, but I didn't really get any results out of it until late last year. So this is micro video content. You probably know that in this day and age with social media being so busy, people want fast, quick, entertaining type content. So that's why reels and things like TikToks and stories are so popular because they're quick, they're fast, and they can be very entertaining. So I went kind of all in on TikTok for a couple of months regarding a particular product in our company, and I got over 30 new customers in a record amount of time, which brought me a whole lot more volume, a whole lot more money in my business, and it kind of blew me away. Now, there's a way to do it that can set yourself up for success on TikTok or not, because TikTok is a different beast. And some of you might feel, I don't want to venture there. And I'm not saying that you have to. But my recommendation to you is to learn how to repurpose content that you've already got. What I did on TikTok was only what I'd done on Reels, and I just plugged it on another platform. So this is what's working. This is where you should probably up your skill if it's not something that you've learned how to do yet. Repurpose existing content on multiple platforms and you never know what can happen. That's all I did. I repurposed an existing reel that was on Instagram. I put it on Facebook. I put it on TikTok. It blew up on TikTok, a whole lot of new customers. I did another one. I did it again. You'd never know whether it's going to work or whether it's not. So just divorce the outcome. But if you're already creating content on one platform, you can multi-purpose on another platform like TikTok, and you might be surprised what happens. So for those of you that want to learn more about TikTok, I've got more training coming in the coming months regarding TikTok. So watch that space. So I'm going to give you, and I'm going to do a boot camp on TikTok. So a free boot camp for everybody in the community here. And there'll be extra training in the coaching community as well. But I'm going to bring that to you because I think there's a lot of people that get confused by TikTok. You're scared by it because you don't know which buttons to push or how to use it or the intricacies of it, because it is a little bit of a different platform with messaging people and things like that. So I'm going to share with you all those, intricacies and sort of how to use it. But that's I guess there's two wrapped up in mine. One is repurpose your content and get a bigger audience on different platforms. Don't start on a different platform with, totally different content. It'll exhaust you. But if you've already got content and you can put it on different platforms, you never know what can happen. And TikTok is a buying audience. It's weird. but TikTok is a buying audience, more product based, but there are heaps of people getting recruits from TikTok as well. So that's my tip. So watch this space because I'll bring you more training around that shortly. Okay. Miss Beth, what have you got for it? What's working for you? What's your modern tip for today?
Hi, everyone. My tip for today for gaining more customers and recruit more team members is in a modern way is to use your products subtly. So I don't know about you, but I see products blasted all over social media. This is on sale. You need to try this. I'm 200 away from my goal or rank. And you know the posts I'm talking about. There's no real benefits behind those posts. So my tip is to use them, the products subtly. So I have a question for you. So I want you to put in the chat A or B. Which one would you relate to more? I love my new hot chocolate. You will too. It's on sale right now. That's A. Or B, I used to struggle with calming down in the evening and getting a good night's rest. Since I found this new calm hot chocolate, I've noticed a difference in, how my evenings go, a much calmer evening, preparing me for a good night's sleep. My guess is that you're going to relate to B, the second one, more. And just me giving you a bit of a story and its benefits. I think if we create curiosity around our products and tell a story that maybe a struggle about, what you've had, tell about the benefits, the changes that you've had, and then slide the product in there. Just to give you a bit of an example, I had a team member just yesterday post about a sleep product she's using and how her sleep has been so much better and the benefit she's getting out of the product, more energy, blah, 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 things like that. And she had several inquiries. And so far, she's signing up 2 customers today for that particular product. But it opened the door for her to talk about other products. So that's really cool. So another thing I do is when I go on live, I bring my products into my live. I don't really talk about them, but I might, mix up an energy drink while I'm on live. I might have my hot chocolate and just subtly bring it up. And maybe just kind of slide that in there a bit, but just subtly mentioning it, that I'm reducing my caffeine levels or whatever it is. Today I went live and talked about my trip to Mexico and how I managed healthy eating on an all-inclusive, but I kind of slid in there about my sport energy drink instead of the alcohol that, everybody has on the all-inclusives, things like that. So I'm not saying, buy my sport drink. I'm just sharing an experience and a story and the benefits. And I think that's the modern way because people relate to the stories and experiences. Or I take a selfie, using an oral spray, and I might just say, getting my boost of energy, and it leaves people hanging because they're going, what is she talking about? What is she using? So another example quickly is if you're doing a reel or story, instead of talking to your audience, like, hi there, I'm drinking my favorite coffee, you should buy it, talk with your audience. I'm drinking my favorite coffee because it does this or that, or whatever product it is, or whatever benefits it gives. Engage with your audience, ask them questions so that you're, I guess, inviting a conversation. So if you want to make sales on social media, I think it's important to share with them your journey, engage them, and invite those conversations so you can gain that know, like, and trust factor. So those are my few little modern tips to gain customers and recruit team members. Lead with curiosity and lead subtly.
Yeah, I tend to agree. And all my customers that I gain from social media is from a story of some sort. Like I've told a story, I've created some curiosity about a journey that I've been on and something that's helped me. And that's where the sale comes from because somebody's curious. What is that stuff? And even then I was just talking to my network marketing team just before on a call when somebody reaches out and they might see a post like that and they'll go, oh, what is that? I don't even give them the information initially. I will go back to them and say, oh, just so I give you the right information and make sure it's the right product for me, do you mind me asking, what's the solution? What you're looking for? What's the problem that you're looking to resolve? Because I want to go deeper with the person regarding why do they want the product. People love to buy. People in this industry make excuses all the time. Oh, it's Christmas time. Nobody's going to want to buy my products. Nobody's going to want to join my team because they've spent all their money at Christmas time and, they've got no money left to buy, join my team in January or whatever. It's a whole lot of crap. Around the world, like Black Friday, we have a thing in Australia called Boxing Day. Like all the sales come out in January. We've already had Christmas and people go out and buy thousands and thousands of dollars and more stuff in January because they're on sale. Like, people are out there willing to buy all the time. So in this industry, you've got to, I guess, get your head around the fact that there's always people out there ready to join your team and buy your products off you that has a benefit to them. So get your head in the right space around that, and don't make excuses about the wrong time to say something, or anything like that. And people do love to buy. They just don't like being sold to in this industry on social media. So when you can do it in a curiosity way, like Beth was saying, in a story-based way, curiosity-based way, sharing the benefits of what it is that you have, rather than saying, here's my thing and there's 20% off. No one cares. No one cares. What they care about, I said this the other day, I think it's on Clubhouse. If you didn't listen to Clubhouse this week, you need to listen to the replay. There are two things that motivate people. One is to stay away from fear, and the other is to move towards their dreams. So fear and dreams. Fear is bigger than dreams. Like, yes, people have got dreams. They've got goals. They want more money. They want a bigger house. They want toys. They want health. They want to look perfect. They want to, look amazing and all those kind of things, like their dreams. But fear of not being able to have food on the table. Fear of not being able to pay the bills at the end of the month. Fear of getting really sick because you're not looking after your health. Fear of never having enough energy to play with the kids or the grandkids because they're so overweight. Fear is what motivates people. That kind of language, the story behind what your products, or services do, that's what will help you sell, and get more customers. Okay. Thank you very much, Beth. That's very relevant to today. Yvette, what have you got for us? Do you agree? Those of you that are listening, do you agree in the comments, with that kind of, strategy? Yvette.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Yvette here. And I do have something to share with you today that can help you to grow your following on social media, gain the customers, and recruit. Now, I'm in the business of travel. And since the latter part of November, December, I have had so many customers. People want to go on the cruises, people want to go on a vacation. The summer travel is just really hot. So I'm here to talk about Reels today. Why Reels? Because micro content video is really HOT, put that in quotation marks. You and I know when you go on social media, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, you are so consumed by these videos. You'll watch them for hours and hours and then catch yourself, oops, I shouldn't be here so long, because they're so entertaining. A lot of them are educational. They're so enticing. And the more you watch a particular reel, then the more you get to watch more of those. So you, on social media, if you want to recruit, if you want to get customers, then you go after your brand in those reels so you can engage those customers, entice them, entertain them. They'll always come back. I get so many messages and on my reels that I've posted from whenever. I had to go back and look, which one is this again? They keep growing. They stay there. They're not going anywhere. People get to go back and look at them. Now, what is the clicker to you grabbing those folks that are looking at your stuff? You have to go back. You have to go back. And sometimes it's like, which one is that again? But you have to visit your reels every now and again and look at who is looking at it and get in touch with those customers, whether it's on their page, whether it's, reaching out to them through Messenger, whichever way. What did you like about this? What did you like? What caused you to react the way? You get the loves, the likes, and the comments as well. Now, I'm telling you, travel is sexy, okay? People want to travel. Everybody loves to travel. I don't care if it's just around the corner, down the street with their little pocketbook. People go somewhere, the nightclubs, the club. They want to be entertained. So once you're in that business and you follow your brand, you do it. You be a product of your product. People like to see you doing what you say. They just don't like to see you talking about it. So videos, those short videos, do them. The reels are 7 to 9 seconds. And for the educational, the 15 seconds. And so talk about your stuff, but cannot forget that you have to keep it within your brand. What do you stand for? What are you here for, to promote? Because it's easy to go and do those, the dance. I'm telling you, those dances on Instagram really catch my attention sometimes. I'm like, Why so many of them appearing in my feed? But anyway, because I like to watch and I'm like, is this in the modern dance? Is what's going on? Because I do love to dance. So I want to catch those things. But the reels, because they are so short, they grab the attention. But we have to go back and grab the customers, grab the folks that are looking at them. And, if you remember Instagram, they'll let you know, oh, somebody had looked at your stuff. So it's easy to do the tracking. What do you do then? You make your little tracking going on. You go back, you check with those people, and you build a conversation. Then you build a relationship. Sometimes it takes time. I was listening to this thing the other day about coconut. A coconut tree takes 3 to 5 years to grow up before it starts producing. But once it starts producing, it produces every month. Think about your reels, like those coconut trees. You build them, you throw them out there. Some of them might not be all that, but leave them there because like people like the crooked ones, they like the ones that, really don't even make much sense to us. But like, is that what I put out there? Leave them there because they're going to stay there. They're going to bear fruits like the coconut tree every month. Can you imagine you plant that tree every month you get a crop of coconut? Put your reels out there because the reels, they've got the customers over time. Go back, engage with them, have the conversation, and get to the root of the matter. Where you want to go next? Where you plan your next vacation? Would you like to get something to help you with your sleep? Whatever that is, and just brighten their day. Show them that you care, and just go for it. That's reels for you.
Thank you, Yvette. It's so timely and modern. And if you've missed that train, like you're still avoiding it, I would recommend that you jump on it because this is the entertaining side of social media that people are craving. Have you ever been stuck watching a whole lot of reels from somebody? Something crossed your feed, you clicked on the person, and then you're watching all their reels. Laurie, obviously, yes, she's bearing her head in it. But TikTok reels, whatever, they're all micro video content, but they're very entertaining. So if that's not where you've been up until this point, let us know in the comments whether you're live or on the replay later. Are you doing reels? Are you avoiding reels? Are you not consistent with reels? It's something that's easy. It brought a lot of fun back into my business when I started doing reels because you can just be funny and have fun with it. So there's that. They're short. So anybody, what I love about it is any one of you can come out of nowhere with no following, no influence, and have success on reels. Yet if you stick to a brand, you've got the opportunity to grow it. But any of you can come out of anywhere and have success with reels. And that's something that's working now. So thank you, Yvette. Steve, what have you got for us?
Hello, everyone. Well, the first thing I wanted to explain is I'll start with a question. How many times have you ran into this scenario? Someone sends you a message that you just became friends with. Hi, how's it going? Everything's going great. How are you? Man, everything's going great. This week is turning out wonderful. How's your week going? This goes back and forth. All that narrow-minded chit-chat is a waste of time. What we've discovered is that it's better to dig deep, as Helen had mentioned, dig deep down and find something that you either have in common with that person to talk about, or get to the heart of the subject faster. So one of the things that I've been doing is going into the personal profile of my new friend contact. When they contact me, I would click on their profile and I would see what they're involved with. And what I try to look for is something that I have in common with them that is not business related. I'll find something in common with them and then ask them a question relating to that topic. For example, I sing. So there's a lot of excellent singers out there. When I have a singer that's a friend and that's a new friend, I'll go in and view their singing style and then ask them a question like, what do you do to warm up your voice? People love to talk about themselves. Absolutely. So you want to get them engaged in a conversation where they have an opportunity to share what they do. And if you do that, then what you're going to find is that you're developing a bond much faster. You don't want to stay in the friend zone for too long, but if you continue on with that and then find something else to talk about on the next pass, you can continue on with that that mode of thinking to dig deep, and you're going to develop a better conversation and something that is more meaningful to the person you're speaking with. And that's what it's all about. The next thing I'd like to mention is when you're listening to somebody, whether it's something that they typed out in a text message or it's something that they had sent you in an audio, or if you're caught up on a Zoom with them I've done that, where you want to really get in there and get to know them and share some ideas. How many times have you run into a situation where you felt as though the person you're talking to isn't really truly listening? There's what's called active listening. You want to get that skill set in place to where you can actively listen to what the person is saying. What usually happens is the person's thinking about what their response is going to be to your question before they have an opportunity to say something, and you're still speaking, so they miss half the message. Or they'll be kind of listening, but also thinking about what they want to tell you that's related to the topic. Actively listen, follow what they say. And what I've been doing is watching their lips. If you watch a person's lips on the video, I encourage everyone to try this. You're going to hear what they say more so than if you just listen. That'll get you in the habit of actively listening. And you'll develop a common bond, because nobody is going to, if they feel like you're listening to what they're saying, everybody likes to know that they're being listened to just as much as, you do. So if you follow those guidelines, you're going to have a better opportunity to develop a bond and a true friendship. And once that friendship's there, then you can move into the other suggestions that have been suggested so far and will be in this conversation later about your business. That's what I had to share with you all today.
Yeah, I love that, Steve. And one of our primal needs as human beings is we all want to feel heard. Everybody wants to feel heard. When you don't feel heard, that plays out in various different ways in individuals, but everybody wants to feel that they're heard. And when they feel like they're being heard, you've captured their attention. Really, really important. Now, I just want to go back to what Steve said in the first place. We know in this industry, unless you've got really big influence and you've got a whole lot of people flocking to you going, oh, what do you do? I want to buy your stuff or join your team. Unless that's your journey, which I'm sure a lot of you are not quite there yet, you have to connect with a lot of people and prospect on social media. But a lot of you are sitting in that friend zone doing the very fluffy, hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? And you're justifying that as your prospecting time and you're connecting. Do what Steve said. Go to somebody's profile, talk about something specific. If there's a dog or a cat or a location or a thing or a singing or a cake or a whatever, pick on that. Go into something that you know would probably be important to them and start the conversation around that. It was interesting. I had the other day, it was just something I put in my stories. We've got a few animals around us. We've got horses there and cows there and chickens and, things around us. And I put something up, a story of basically Harley, my pug, is dead on with a cow. And it's like, it's on. And I put it in my stories like, who's going to win this battle? And someone says, oh my gosh, you've got cows. I was like, well, yes, we've got cows on the farm, which is 15 k's out there, actually, the neighbour's cows. But anyway, and we got into this whole conversation about property, Australia, where that person lives, pets, animals, whatever. We went straight into this full-on conversation about cows and farms and the online world, all that kind of stuff. And it was like we'd known each other for like ages in like just this conversation, because we went specific. We had something to connect to. Did you hear what I just said? When people feel like they can connect to you on something, you are going to a much deeper level a lot quicker. So go to their profile and find something to connect and ask and get them talking about something that makes them feel heard. Okay, start there. So great tips. Love that. Thank you very much, Steve. I hope are you picking up tips already, guys, that listening, or those of you on the replay, also comment in. There's some really good little nuggets if you listen to these kind of collaborations we've got going here. Susan.
Hello. How is everybody doing today? So this seems like a simple solution, but it's not always easy for everybody. Social media moves fast. It's hard to keep up. So you want to be in the modern strategies. But this one, Helen tells me all the time, and I love it because I'm working hard at it, is to find your voice. Talk from your heart. Do you. So when you're listening to other people, or you're on a live, or you're doing anything, they can see your reactions, your facial expressions, your reactions. If the kids come in, it's getting that know, like, and trust going faster so that you can start that connection. So don't worry about the perfection. That's going to attract people to you. Consistency is what you want to be doing. The other thing is that you want to know, what do you like when you're watching? I notice now people are looking for more entertainment, more fun. And I've heard from a lot of leaders, big leaders right now, that they may not be the best presenter, but they are the most excited. And they said when they were authentic and became them and stopped being other people, that's when people really started to connect with them and ask them. So if you're fun, show it. If you're excited, show it. Right now, more than ever, people are looking for something big, fun, and exciting to be a part of. And if you can be authentically excited and have fun, who doesn't want to join you? So that's what I have right now. I just love that part, and I think it's very important for people.
Yeah, so many little golden nuggets in that, like finding your own voice on social media. Don't try to be like everyone else. I know you guys look at other people's videos and people you look up to and see what they're doing and want to mirror that. Fine, but somewhere along the line, you got to find your own way of saying things, your own voice, your own personality. If you're quirky, it's not my thing, but if you swear, that's you. If you don't. If you've got quirky words, use them. Like, let people get to know the real you, because that's where the human connection goes deeper and that's where the trust goes up. So, thanks for sharing all of that, Susan. It's so important. Miss Laurie.
Find my mute button here quick.
You're good.
So I am going to talk about how stories connect and persuade people when they hear a really good story. So when you listen to a story, no matter what your age, right, you're basically transported mentally to another time and place, right? And I mean, after the last couple of years, who couldn't use that right about now? I would much rather be somewhere where the water is green and the sand is hot. Anyway, we all know the really cool feeling of being swept away basically by a really good book. And it's the act of being able to connect. So I found it interesting. I read something the other day that talked about basically what happens to our brains when we're really engaged in a super cool story. So there's different areas of our brains that actually light up when someone's listening to a story. And depending on the story they're reading or watching or listening to, your palms can get sweaty. You can blink faster. The heart might flutter. Facial expressions change. Even the little muscles in the eye, above your eyebrows, like if somebody's listening and they go, it's a sign that whoever's listening to the story is engaged. So when one person is telling a story and the other is fully comprehending and feeling it, the science shows us that the brain waves of the person telling the story and the person listening to the story, actually start to mirror each other,
really?
Which is kind of cool. And so that right there is the connection, right? So it also activates like the area of our brains that bring about prediction, imagining what drives the storyteller. So like Steve was saying, sometimes the person is ahead of you, like what they're predicting or where they think the story is going to go. But this helps us see a situation from a different perspective. And it can even, a good story can even shift your core beliefs, depending on how much of that connection you have. So the other thing is, really good storytellers can keep people thinking about that story after the story's over. They'll keep going back to it. And what that does is it reinforces their memory of the story, and it can change their mind about something. So when you're thinking about that with social media and building your business and sharing the benefits of a product or whatever, if you're really good at sharing that story, they may play that story over and over in their head and eventually change their mind about what they think from their original perception.
Yeah.
And like Helen always says, information is good, okay, but it's not enough. A vivid emotional story can give that extra push to make it feel more real, more important. So if you look at the time somebody's beliefs have changed, it's often because a story like hit them right in the heart. So just real quick, all that's great. How do you tell a good story? So I've got 5 things real quick. 1, there's no better way at telling stories than telling stories. There's no substitute for experience. So whether you suck at it at first or not, get out there, start telling your story. Number 2, it's your story. So tell it. Nobody can tell you that it's wrong, and you just have to worry about telling the truth. That's it. Tell your story in pieces of what either was and what is going to be, or kind of oscillate between the two. So life was like this, and now it's like this, and then you could go back to a little bit of what it was like this, and then back to what it is now, and kind of oscillate basically between then and now, or now and the future, and back to now, back and forth. It keeps the listener engaged, and they'll stick with you through the story. Best tip that I've heard so far is the art of a good story is knowing what your first sentence is going to be and what your last sentence is going to be. If you have the first and the last, they're bookends, and all you have to do is worry about telling your story, telling a truthful story in the middle, and it will all pull together. The last one, there's 4 really good elements to a story: hope, help, heart, and humor. And if you can connect with your audience on even one, they'll hear you. If you can connect with them on all 4, they'll never forget you. So that's what I have to share.
Oh, sorry. Right at the time I decided to talk. Thank you, Laurie. And I just want to highlight 2 things. I say it all the time. Laurie sort of reiterated: information versus emotion. Information versus emotion. Your content in your stories, curiosity posts, whatever you're doing, information versus emotion. Emotion is storytelling. Information is not. Okay. The other thing I wanted to share around that is I can't remember. I've done this a lot today. No, see, it's come back already. A lot of you learning to build on social media, a lot of what you'll learn is content creation. You got to put content out there. Content is what attracts people to you, attraction marketing, all those kind of things. But there are plenty of people out there that have got a great content plan. They might have even 30 days in advance, 60 days in advance, 90 days in advance of content created, but it's all surface level. It's like it's a quote, it's an engagement post, it's this, it's that, it's all mapped out, but there's no storytelling, there's no emotion, you're not going to that deeper layer. So where this plays out in your social media and building a business online is you've got to bring into your content creation every now and again a curiosity post that tells a story. You know, the journey of, sharing a story in your Facebook or Instagram stories, those kind of things. Like, go to a deeper level with your content creation and bring in storytelling. Quickly, Laurie, you had to.
Yes, and I was just going to add real quick that over the last couple of weeks, I've been trying to incorporate this more into my strategy. And so I have been doing like reels and TikToks and stuff after I exercise, because this is a brand new thing for me. And so I'm out of breath. I'm hot. I look like crap, but it's like I did one the other day. It's day 30. I mean, I've never exercised 30 days ever in my life combined, let alone straight together. And I've gotten a ton of interaction with that. What are you doing? You look great. Somebody told me, oh, your skin looks so smooth and healthy. It's just so, but it was my story, and it was kind of an ugly story, but they work.
Yeah. Well done. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, let's wrap this up with our last two guests here. Cherie, what have you got for us? Need to unmute.
Okay, I was in the wrong spot, sorry. Okay, so but my tip is to gain customers and to recruit from social media has to do with lives, doing lives. Lives is a really big thing, and it's going to continue to grow. It's grown into where we're using micro media now, and micro videos rather, and it's one of those things that I don't know that everybody has caught on to that yet. Have you started going live? Are any of you going live? Do you really feel like you got it and okay, yeah, I can do it? Or are you letting fear keep you stuck where you can't go live, you can't press the button? It's very important to be able to, or maybe I should say it's heartwarming or makes people laugh, or it pulls their attention when they see someone on the screen, when they can hear that voice, when they can see that face, when they see the smile or whatever it is, depending on what the story is that they're telling in their live, whatever training they're doing. Live video is here to stay, and it's just continuing to boom on, and that's what it's going to be. It's just one of those things that hopefully everybody eventually will learn to do. And it is crowded, a very crowded space now on social media. And one of the things that can help you to stand out, to gain customers, to be able to have team members recruiting team members, is to let people see you. And that takes away a lot of the mystery. If they're just seeing it written, they don't really know what you said, or how did you say that, what did you mean when you said that? But when they see you on video and they can hear what you're saying, and they can see if you're smiling, or they can see if you're talking about something that's said, they can see it in your face, in your eyes. So live video is very, very it's exciting. It's important. It lifts people. It can bring someone to a tear, and I've been there, and it can bring somebody to a belly laugh where you're almost on the floor. So that is my tip, using live video. And if you have not started doing it yet, it's one of those things. Don't get left behind. Don't get stuck behind, the big, huge truck that you can't get around, Do live video. It's just going to help and make you well known. And that's all I have to say. But I want to make sure that you know that it does help you with customers and recruiting team members. So thank you.
It's all about the know, like, and trust. And there's no faster way for people to get to know, like, and trust you than to hear your voice. and see your expression and how you show up and the way that you talk and what you share and all those kind of things. No faster way. So if you're still avoiding it or you're not consistent at it, then 2023 is the time to do that. The other thing I would challenge you to do, this is my challenge for me this year. Like, I use stories quite regularly, and I come in and out of being really good at stories and having multiple stories and then only having one a day and things like that. Like, that's just, a natural journey on social media. But with video, I think what's more effective in stories is to have little speaking videos, rather than a lot of my videos are all still videos or photos, or I might have a GIF and some music and stuff like that, but not enough like just going into stories and having a little chat and letting people know how you feel about something. That's my challenge to you. If you hear nothing else out of this conversation today, is to do more video-based stories. Okay, video-based, where you're speaking into the story. It's like 15 seconds. You're just sharing something, or you're excited about something, or you're going somewhere, or something's happened and you're in the moment. Share it. People love it. There is a very good reason why people love reality TV. That's what live video is. Okay, Christina, finish it off for us.
Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about stories, and that's
awesome.
Because they are still important. Along with the reels, people want to see behind the scenes, and they want to see what's really going on with your life. But also combining those images and the videos, just like Helen just said, those little clip notes, like clip notes are clip notes, sorry. And these little images and these little short, brief videos that you can combine, and you're creating a sequence from beginning to end of a story, and it captures people's attention. So how do we do this? There's a formula around it. You're going to start with the pain point, gratitude, and then solution. And that pain point can start with a poll sticker in that very first image. And you want that question to be very thought-provoking. And that's going to get them to think. It's going to create curiosity. It's going to get their imagination going. It's like, oh, what else does she have? What else does she have? That next video can be where you come in live and you are talking about how you relate to that pain point. What's happening in your life and how you are relating to that pain point. So you're speaking directly to them, and they're going to go, that's me. And then the next one could be like a boomerang. You could do like a boomerang of it could either be business or product type of thing, a boomerang of something that you're doing. It could be mixing a drink. It could be getting behind your video camera. It could be anything that is showing you in action and that you're grateful for what you have found. And then that last one, you could or could not do a video clip on the solution, how that solution has actually carried you through. So they're actually seeing that story all the way through. And then you want to end it with some kind of call to action where you're inviting them to learn more about what they just saw in that story. And those are all like cliff notes to the bigger picture. And you want to create that imagination for them in that story. So not only are your stories going to be your personal things that are happening in your life, because they definitely want to see those themes, but you also have more, you can be more blunt in your stories. You can bring in your product's business into your stories a little bit more freely, but be strategic in how you're doing it and create sequences so that people actually, you're carrying them through a journey in those, I'd say about 3 to 5. You at least 3, minimum would be 3. Creating a visionary for them, not just one image. And then one other tip I have for you is using that to promote like a live video that you may have already done. I like that part the very best, where you bring curiosity around something that you have already gone live with, and your first snapshot could be something in a caption that creates their attention. But the next one that you do, you are actually saying, hey, did you catch my live that I just did earlier this morning or yesterday, I was talking about this. Give them a little bit of a teaser so that they want to go back. And then that last post could be inviting them to ask you for the link directly to that live video. So you could even do that before too. It's like promoting your video, letting them know that in an hour you're going to go live or whatever that happens to be to get them there. So 3 things. You want to focus on pain point, gratitude, and solution, and create a sequence in your stories so that you're taking them on a journey.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. I think it's a strategy for all of you for 2023. If you can think of one story, then break it down to 3. Seriously. Like if you think of, I might just, show my shake or something like that, turn it into 3 stories. Like 1 is getting the ingredients ready, 2 is making it up, 3 is, is drinking it or something, and 4 is the story saying, do you need more energy? Like it's just one kind of product example. If you're going somewhere, like take multiple stories of the journey of getting there. Like it's a story sequence. Like Christina is saying, like people are glued to that. It's like reality TV playing out, but you're keeping people with you. You're keeping them in your stories. You're keeping them glued to you by doing story sequences instead of, like, if you're going to do 10 stories a day, instead of having 10 different ones. So like there's an inspirational quote and this, you're going somewhere and there, you're drinking something, like it's 10 different stories. Think and start to shift your thinking as to, okay, how can I share a journey of what I'm doing today in a number of stories? Like take people on a journey with you. It's far more powerful. Okay, so we've talked long enough. I'm going to leave it there. I hope you got some really good tips out of this, because there were some really good little tips. If you go deeper with your social media and some of these things that we've shared with you, you'll definitely benefit from it with what's working now in our businesses. So thank you, Beth. Thank you, Yvette. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Laurie. Thank you, Cherie. Thank you, Christina. I appreciate you giving up your time and sharing it with our audience in what's working for you in your businesses. And I hope you guys that are listening got something sort of out of that. This is our question from Merlo. Do you post the series at a different time? Yeah, so preferably they're still staggered out, but you might have a number of stories and 3 of them do show in a row, Merla. There's nothing wrong with that. But if that's all you've got in a 24-hour period, then you'd want to put another story sort of either side of that at different times. So stories show for 24 hours. You want to scatter your stories over that 24 hours ideally. Okay. Just to share with you guys, I am on a plane next Monday morning from Australia to the States. I'm going to meet some of these people on the screen. Actually, it's going to be very exciting. You guys are coming on the journey with me. So my lives next week are not at my normal time. I will be here, there, and everywhere sharing snow. I'll see snow for the first time in 29 years. So I'll just share that journey with you. So that's what I'm doing over the next sort of week and a half, really. So I won't be on my normal schedule, but still coaching community, Clubhouse, all of that is still happening as per normal. It's just my live videos are a little bit different. So stay glued to me for the next sort of week or so, and I'll share with you what I'm up to. And thank you again, guys, for joining me today. I really appreciate it. See you, everyone. Bye.